after rivalry weekend, losing a disappointing one against Fort Lewis, and then winning versus Western, a quick turnaround to go to Westminster. Guys responded well, and really kind of a hard-fought win at Westminster after a slow start. Just they were doing some things we weren't ready for, and it just took a little while to adjust. And then carried it through to Saturday, got off to a great start. And then, South Dakota Mines just runs their offense with such pace, causes a few issues in the second half, but guys responded that last 10 minutes and got to reestablish themselves and secured the win. So we're getting better every week and, building towards the end here.
And then looking ahead to this weekend, last 5 games of the regular season starts off with Adams State. What do you know about that? What does that trip mean? And just one game this week.
Yeah, it's a very difficult trip. I mean, you're playing at a high altitude. It's always freezing there. And then the gym, who knows, it could be really hot or cold. You never know what it's going to be. And so their coach told me they were practicing at 50-degree temperatures at the beginning of the year. So, and a lot of times when we go there, it's like in the 80s in the gym when we're playing. So, you got to be ready for anything. And then they have a very talented team, and they're very well coached, and they've been playing really well. They just won at Fort Lewis, and a couple of tough losses at home, almost had Mines and Regis, both of them beat. And so, we know it'll be a big challenge in all ways, and we'll have to have a great week to get ready.
So guys, like Aaron said, 5 regular season games left, and you guys have, taken the bonus year, and has it kind of hit that this is really the stretch run and it's time to, like the wrestler said, time to really get serious?
I mean, I would say, the seriousness it hasn't hit like, oh man, like these might be like, my last 5 games. It hasn't really hit like that, but definitely just taking it one game at a time, realizing how important each win is going to be for us to get maybe that home game here, that first game of playoffs.
I feel like basketball-wise, it's kind of like the same. You know what I mean? Like we've been in this situation before, so we know like we got to be playing our best ball and stuff like that. I think that what it's hitting more is kind of like the off-the-court stuff, just knowing that like I'm not going to get to hang out with these guys every single day next year and stuff like that. So like that's more like the kind of things that are hitting right now. But I feel like Coach is like really good at keeping us focused on what the goals are and stuff like that, like on the court-wise. So.
You don't get to jump on the bus, every week now, later on in life.
Yeah.
You're really going to miss the bus ride.
That's the main thing. Me and Georgie were talking about how, we remember the games and some plays and stuff like that, but just like those Saturday nights, after like getting a win or something and just getting to hang out with all the guys and just like laughing and joking and stuff like that, that's the things that like we're going to miss the most,
You guys played Adams State already once this year. Here, you beat them. What do you take from that game into this Friday's matchup with them?
Just the things we did well, pick from that, and then the things we didn't do well in that game, learn from it. They're a much different team when they're at home. Like Coach said, they had a few tight losses, and then they went on the road and beat Fort Lewis, a team that we lost to. So it's not going to be an easy matchup whatsoever when we head down there. So, just learning from what we did bad and then executing what we did well the first time is what's going to help us.
I mean, they lost Destin this year, so you don't have to worry about him just hitting the crazy shots on you guys, but they still have some very good talented scorers with Crane, number 11, I think. He always poses some matchup issues for you guys. How are you going to try to defend him?
Just taking away his strengths. He's a really good mid-range shooter, even though he's got that clunky form. It just seems to always fall. And then obviously he's really good at getting to the rim. He's super athletic. So just kind of taking that away from him, I feel like a lot of teams kind of just play super off of him because he's not a good three-point shooter, but that lets him get that head of steam. And so that's what Coach always tells us is we're not going to guard the three. We know he's not going to shoot it there, but you got to still pressure him enough so that he can't get that head of steam coming at you. And so hopefully we can just I've already had to guard him 5 games in my career so far, so hopefully I can take those lessons and hold him to below his average this time.
we're lucky to have Jared and his length to counter Crane's length. So it really does. It is a good matchup, and those two go at it, and it'll be. And I think one of the things about them this year that's a little different is in my time here, they've kind of had like a dynamic playmaker that makes all the plays for the team, or gets their teammates shots. And this team is just really balanced, and all their guys are capable, and I think they're defending it at a higher level, and so they're just a really good balanced team. And they've had some injury issues this year, and they were sick coming into our game, and so but they're a highly competitive team, and I think they got a great shot to get in that 8th spot, and they're going to need to win out probably to do that, or get a lot of wins down the stretch here to do it. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
Jared, your role defensively is, you've always been the guy, because of your length, you can go against a bigger guy, a guard, a smaller guy. What kind of mindset do you take in on defense against a guy like this week?
It's kind of like the same thing any week. Is just try to stop them from what they're good at doing. The coaches are always like really good at giving us like a detailed plan of like how to stop someone, like what their tendencies are and stuff like that. So just kind of really pay attention and scout, and then just coming into the game with the mindset that like I have to have my focus on defense. I feel like as a basketball player, like the older you get, the more you realize that offense is kind of just like trusting the game plan, trusting your skills, and just being confident. But defense is all just effort and just wanting to, you know what I mean? Like, as long as you're out there really focused on wanting to stop your guy, I feel like you can, if you have the ability at least.
It seems like when you do that, it transfers into your offense a lot smoother.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I've realized about myself is as long as I'm focused on defense, I feel like my offense will come, especially with players like Georgie and Blaze and Fur and Reese around me, the guys that are going to find me when I'm open and stuff like that. I don't really have to worry about offense. I kind of just have to pick my spots and make my shots when I get them and stuff like that. But defense, if I'm focused there, I can be really effective.
With having the midweek game last week and then having South Carolina on Saturday and then just a game on Friday, are you guys just taking it one day at a time as a team and just taking it game by game and not really looking too far ahead?
Yeah, I think this group, these two leadership, and they've been through this before, and they understand that all you have is that moment you're in, and if you get thinking about anything else, it's not good. And the teams that succeed in March are just able to stay in the moment, even in the most pressured situations. And so that's what we're always building towards, is just learning how to keep what's in front of you as the focus and let the other stuff go. The nice thing about this stretch that we've had is that we've been able to play all of our games on time, and so this allows us to get a little bit of recovery during this time and work on some things that we need to clean up, whereas other teams have a very consolidated schedule over these next couple of weeks. Namely, Regis and Black Hills are having to play tonight, and then they're both got 2 games this weekend, and so I do think if we use this time wisely, it does serve as an advantage as we head towards March. We're going to take a mental health day tomorrow. We're not going to have any basketball activities tomorrow. Just give them the full extra day off, both physically and mentally. And I think that's important as you start getting down to the stretch run, because everybody does, you can be running on fumes. We've been playing games since October, so we need to, it's good to have a little bit of break in here.
Well, plus you've played with a shrunken roster all year, and even more so certain times. So just having one game this week has got to be nice.
Yeah, getting a few guys back, having a little more depth has been good, but I think it was last week I looked at minutes played in conference games, and I think these guys were number 2 and 3 in the league. The point guard for South Dakota Mines never comes out of the game, but other than him, I think they were 2nd and 3rd. So, that does have its toll. It allows you to kind of get that mindset that, I got to do it for the whole time and build that conditioning, which these guys are both in great shape to handle, but it's good to give them a break too as we move through this stretch run.
So Georgie, is it more mental at this point, playing a lot of minutes, than physical, because you are in shape, and now it's a kind of a mental grind, I got to get through this?
I would say it's more, coach is more on me about my minutes than anything. I don't really ever like to come out of the game, and he's always like, he tries to pull me out the game, and I'm like, why? And he's like, you need to breathe. And I'm like, yeah. So I kind of just go out there and just play and kind of lose focus on like how many minutes I'm playing, So yeah, I think coach more monitors whether I need you know, a break or not more carefully than I do.
Well, and it's kind of early in the season, you didn't know how to distribute the minutes because you had 10 guys that could play. Now it's starting to shrink. How does it feel for everybody to kind of have a little bit of a consistent group, the consistent rotation where the rhythm is really starting to peak?
It's just it kind of defined people's roles more. You know, like for instance, like Isaac. You know, he's coming in and fulfilling his role to a T. He's doing a great job of coming in, taking care of the ball, and knocking down open shots. Losing Blaze this week, and then Fur a little bit earlier, and Owen even earlier. It kind of made him have to step into a bigger role. So I think just role definition for guys has kind of been a little bit more clear, and that's what has helped us become more effective on offense.
All right. Question of the week. What is your favorite Winter Olympic sport and why?
They started this week.
Yeah.
I do not know what it's called, but it's the one where they're on like they're skiing and they do like the big jump. Like they're like I don't even know. I think so.
Just the ski jump. There's a ski jump.
I think that's it. Yeah.
They kind of just fly there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they do tricks. Okay. Yeah. That one. That one's fun to watch.
All right. Yesterday morning, I got into the women's snowboard slope style. It was really cool, and they have this huge course and the tricks they can do, and I would say the toughness that they have to just go flying off of that thing with their both feet attached to a board is pretty impressive. So I got into that the other morning.
Yeah, I would say definitely the snowboarding when they're like going in and out of that pipe, like doing the tricks and stuff. I don't know what it's called, but when they're doing that looks tough.
It's the half pipe.
Yeah, the half pipe.
He has an excuse. He's from California.